Welcome back to another reading and correcting with me, Kindar, the Tiger Knights, and Ty, the Tiger Supervisor. These are where I read a chapter from one of my stories and correct it as I go. If you want to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch and YouTube. And if you are looking to support me, that is on my Patreon. Today we are doing chapter 24 of The Technician's Fight. This is your captain. The voice came over the large room. Come on, Jeremy muttered. Get on with it. We will be at the station for 5 days, so ensure you don't make commitments that will take you beyond that. For those who will be businesses, for those who will engage in business with the station's seller. Ensure your permits are in order before you initiate the transaction. Will engage. Initiate the transactions. If you will be bringing items in volume you can't carry, coordinate with the quartermaster. For those of you taking leisure time, remember that you are not on the Viper's Bane. You have been traveling on the merchant ship, the Brave Traveler. Keep your nose to the wind and live fully. A hand grabbed Jeremy's arm before he could rush for the opening hatch. A hunter knows that patience is rewarded. He looked at his friend. But we're not hunters right now, are we? He'd been surprised when he was instructed to wear civilian clothing, even if he'd be going with his pack for this outing. A hunter only wears the mask of civility. Scaram said. You're making that up, he told his packmate, and she smirked. Regardless, Thur said, let the civilian exit. A few minutes won't take away from what you'll enjoy. Yearning makes the meat taste sweeter, the Trail said. Now I know you're making them up. He looked at his friend. And I have been looking forward to this for a month. Ever since Gral said we'd be going to a station. I love the ship, but I want to see sights, different things. This is definitely going to be different. Yamilk chuckled, popping a dried meat cube in his mouth. Unlike what Jeremy had expected, the meat was cooked, not dehydrated. The pouch his packmate carried had them cooked in different sauces until they were almost too hard to chew. He'd explained when he'd offered one. Okay. He'd explained when he offered one to Jeremy that he should move it in his mouth until it lost most of the flavor. That's going to be the next phrase. Then it would be tender for chewing. The one he tried had been slightly sweet and not bad, but also not impressive either. Not something Jeremy could envision eating for enjoyment, the way Yamelk obviously did. You say that like I should expect to be disappointed. If you're looking for all the amenities, you will be, Throws said. Now, if you are looking for a weapon, you will fall in love with this place. I swear, Yamelk mumbled. It's like you think your heart is in one of those things. My heart is on Kelser, where she's safe, and where her mates and kids want her, Tresnir added, smirking. Wait, you mean your actual heart? Jeremy asked. Not the one you'll eventually find? Why aren't you with her? Because it would be difficult to be a hunter of the Bane back on Kelser, and she has her family. I wouldn't ask her to leave them behind for me. Her family, meaning you aren't part of it. Shook his head in a mix of amusement and how difficult it was for him to accept. And how difficult it was for him to accept, and in astonishment, they'd be fine being apart like that. I spend time with her whenever I'm home, and her mates are considerate enough to not ask to be included. But my family is here, this pack. I don't know if I could be part of that, if I could be apart from Growl like that. You can. Thur said. He was frowning when Jeremy glanced at him. I mean, you are strong, Jeremy. If the hunt takes you away for a time, you will survive it. Thinking like that, the idea of not being with his heart wasn't so difficult to imagine. And you won't be alone, Herm said, pulling Jeremy to him and nuzzling his neck. He'll be with your pack, and we'll make sure you don't miss him too much. Males will make sure of that. Yathirin said, us female will have to be content imagining what it's like to be with this pack brother. There should be a rule that hunters can't be one of those who only what? Want one gender. Leaves the rest of us wanting. Scaram and Netrel hugged her. Well, make sure you don't feel left out. I'll do it too, Jeremy hurried to say. I mean, I'm not that we'll have sex, but I'm not going to push you out of the bed either. His face was already burning before they looked at him speculatively. Has someone been with his mate's friends? Yamil said, smiling. You know I've had sex with Tom. Everyone knows that at this point. But the Alpha is known for having more than one friend, Thros said. He took a breath. Yes, we've shared our bed with all his friend. How was it for you? Thor asked, ear canted quizzically. Interesting. Odd. Not as uncomfortable as I thought it would be. He shook himself and tried to will his face to cool. It's not something I've ever experienced before. The last time I'd have been allowed in a bed with more than one person would be when I was a kid, and only if the nightmare was really bad. Then my dad would be okay with me joining him and my mom in their bed. And it's like that for all Earthers? Herm said, baffled. I guess so. I couldn't imagine it. He said, I can't think of a time it was just me in a bed when I grew up. It was me and my sibling, or me and them and our parents, or our Kresserik. I think the first time it was just me and one other person was the neighbor's oldest son. The male smiled wistfully. So handsome, so hung. He was amazing. Your first always is, Thor said. Agreed. Yes, Jeremy agreed. So, Thor said, are we staying here telling our newest packmate about our first times, or are we setting foot on the station? Jeremy looked around, and only a handful of people were left, heading out. Out! He pulled away from Herm and ran out of the ship. Laughter became softer with the distance. Then he was standing on another station, awed at the exposed strut, at the power conduit welded to them, the angled, unfinished ceiling. Told you it wouldn't be impressive. Are you kidding? Look at the way they have the struts connected to absorb the docking impacts. Those there are the absorbers. From what I read, the calibration on them has to be really precise, otherwise you're slowly tearing the station apart. Thought the cub was a reactor engineer, Scaram said. I think we got ourselves a builder, Herm said, hugging Jeremy. We are going to make so much use of you. Not just in bed, Thor said severely. Wait, you build bed toys? Herm grinned. Oh, I am really going to enjoy having you around. Trolls grabbed the mail and pulled him away. If you need toys to enjoy someone, we have not been treating you properly. It's not about needing, he protested. It's about enjoying. Just to be clear, Jimmy said, face burning as he followed, I'm not some kind of sex toy designer. But you have made some, Grisnir said, then chuckled. It's so amusing how your skin reddens like this. Yours does too, Jimmy countered. Yes, but if you're not faster than them folding their ears, you miss it. Do we have to go with her? Wait, there's an extra I here. Yatrin asked, she's heading for that illegal gun shop. Guns are illegal? Jeremy asked. He hadn't read anything about that when he'd familiarized with the station's rule. The selling of them without the proper permit is, Third replied, which the shop doesn't have because of the kind of guns they have under the counter. Other species one. Other species ones? Other species gun. Other species guns, Scarab said. One with unapproved modifications, Netrel added. Beautiful ones, Thros called. Is there something I should know? Jeremy asked. You mean other than how much she loves her gun? Her guns? That's going to be plural. Not. Actually, yeah, okay. Not just mine. I told you. You touch mine and I am talking with Zanila Ram, so he'll never go to your bed again. I don't touch other people's gun without their permission. What kind of person do you take me for? The obsessed kind, the troll muttered. So when I get assigned one? Jeremy asked. Keep it under lock and key when you aren't around to watch it. The shop in question was 3 levels below, tucked away from down a passage Jeremy wasn't sure he would have known how to find if he'd been provided with a map. Welcome, the Tahornian behind the long counter said. I am Tragarish and I. Is it? They spread their arm. It is my favorite furred customer. Cook, Trosserer Mirtiosi Harkinal. Consider me so pleased to see you again. I have an excellent selection for you to peruse. These fine Kelsirian, and they leaned forward as if to look at him better. I do not know your species. How odd. I am familiar with all Federation species and the things they desire. Tragarish of Reman, Troj said, this is technician Jeremy Bradshaw, Kelsirian of Earther descent. The Tahornian leaned forward more. A different Kelsirian. I did not know your species came in such diversity. They must be rare, for you are the first I have encountered, and there are many Kelsirian here. I'm not actually Kelsirian. My species is Earther, but I'm a Kelsirian citizen. So odd. The Tahornian said, then looked at Throws. Did they have an accident? Their speech sounded nothing like any Kelsirians I have encountered. I could not even make out one word. Right. He didn't speak. He hadn't. No, right. Right. Jimmy didn't speak Kelsirian. Here I need to make some modification. He had spoken Earther. His species is Earther, but he is Kelsirian through his heart. Oh, I have heard that story. The warrior who saw the heart. I did not know hearts came from other species, from the Earther species. I always read the story as they were also Kelsirian. She chuckled. It's more complicated than that, but yes, they are all with me, brothers and sisters. Then may you also enjoy my ware. He tapped the surface of the counter, and it shimmered, becoming transparent, and revealed an array of weapons Jeremy had never even imagined. Throws owed and awed over them. Holding one reverently, and the shopkeeper took it out. Wait, what? Holding one reverently? Okay, this needs to be flipped. And and she held it reverently. The others looked at them more critically, passing on offers to handle them, while Jeremy looked at the other things on display through the shop. The selection was eclectic. Electronics component, glasses, and other things that might be for the eating area of other species. Fabric, clothing. He paused before a vest of thick material. It felt organic in soft brown. Ah, a most discerning eye the technician has. A Kersetaran design made of the woven hair of a beast of burden from their first world. It might be a little too large, but they had tailors on the ship. One of them would know how to adjust. And here's where I need to make more changes. How much? I forgot when I wrote this that Jeremy knows Federalese, which is the trade language of the Federation. It's not a technical language, although I haven't really been... I'm going to have, when I do the second draft, I'm going to have to go over how it's used, because I think I use it too broadly. Okay. Turner looked at him quizzically. Quizzically. You know, federalese. Yeah. And so this is no longer this, but I do want to keep it. You're sure to buy this here, Thur. Ask. Joining them. Its provenance is almost certainly questionable. If you have questions, I will answer. Where did you get the vest? That's what the shopkeeper said. Where did you get the vest? Thor asked in a tone of, let's put that to the test. Thor, Jimmy said. It was sold to me by its previous owner, a Kersitaran who needed finances and offered the item in exchange for compensation towards reaching her goal. Thur, unless you tell me Graal will get in trouble for wearing it, it's fine. Maybe she should. Thur, if it's illegal for her to sell it, is it illegal for her to sell it to me? He wasn't happy. No. Okay. And please leave it be. How much? How much? Yes, a Tahornian. She gave the price and Jeremy agreed to pay it. She wrapped and sealed it. Then he ran his bracelet over the scanner. Is the issue that she's Tahornian? He asked while paid for the gun she bought. No, it's. He took a breath. I'm the issue. Jeremy kept looking at him. There's a part of my family I don't talk about. Okay. Jeremy turned to join the others, but Thur grabbed his arm. He said, you don't talk about it, Thur. I'm not. I want to tell you. My family, many generations ago, before we went to space, really, we were Alans. There was a rift, and those who would lead to me chose honesty. The others, they're still out there, and I don't like the reminder that for the grace of the gods, I could have been born one of them. The questionable smell of the items sold here do the same, but I shouldn't have afflicted you with it. Jimmy hugged his friend and nuzzled his neck. Thank you for telling me. You know, they have indecency laws on this station, right? Yamil said. If you don't want me to report you, you better include me in this. Jeremy pulled the mail into the hog, then the others joined in. Is this unknown tradition for end of exchange? The Tahonian asked, looking unsure if he should join in. Jeremy laughed from the middle of the hog. No. Trigarish of Rajman, Crow said, simply friends sharing some happiness. The Tahonians still seemed perplexed as far as Jeremy thought he could make out the expression, and then they exited the shop. Tumarim? Jeremy called on seeing the Kelsirian male walking along the causeway. He wasn't certain because while the fur color matched the clothing, Jeremy swallowed as the cut of the pants cupped the male's package forward and the slit in the side let him see hints of what was under the cloth as he moved. The vest was colorful with glittering gems along the side. He'd never thought of Tom as demure, but this? Jeremy! The male smiled and joined them, hugging and rubbing muzzle along his cheek. I did not expect to see you here. Where's your heart? If he isn't with you either, he isn't done with the ship's business he has to deal with while we're here. I never thought I'd see you in, he motioned up and down the mail. I thought I'd have some fun while on the station, show myself and see who's interested. Oh, I am interested, Grisnir said, licking her lips. Just tell me where your bed is. And who are you with? Tom, I need to change that. Tomerim, Jeremy is not quite that close to him yet. Ask, looking her up and down with a pleased smile. I don't believe I've seen you with most of them before. Jeremy lowered his voice. This is my pack, but we're not really hunters right now because, Tom chuckled and then looked at Yetirin, who walked around him. Then why this with them? Bonding, Thur said. We're newly formed, so I thought it would be good for us to be outside our usual environment. You mean you haven't had sex with them? Again, Tomerim asked, sounding offended. Him, and him, Jeremy said, pointing to Thur, Urim, and Netril. What are you waiting for? He asked Yamilk. I don't sleep with a packmate until I have treated them to a proper shift of enjoyment. I and Jeremy will be spending time together after we leave. Then we will enjoy each other. You're from the Yushrak Termer, aren't you? Yes. How did you know? Most of my family is spread through the administration of the leadership and politics. It means we all get an education in the region's customs. Yetirin leaned against Tom. Please come with us. We're going to a drinking establishment. I want to convince you to come to one of the pleasure rooms. I couldn't. You're not just anything, Tomerin, Jeremy said, and we're just a group of friends out for an enjoyable time, and you said you're out for the same thing. His friend chuckled. Just be warned, I like my drinks gentled. You speak like us hunters only drink the strong stuff, Netril said. Jeremy took the first of 8 shooter glass and brought it to his lip. As the others looked at him worryingly. They'd wrinkled their nose at the strength of the alcohol when he'd returned to their table with the tray. He took a sip and made a face. Way too bitter. He scratched that name off his tablet. Why are you torturing yourself with those? Urim asked, wine glass in hand, looking for something good to drink. He drank from the water glass. Don't you have that Scotch recipe on the ship? Didn't think to bring it. He wrinkled his nose as he brought the next glass to his lips. And I figure if I can't find something authentic instead of printed, it'll taste better. He nearly choked on that one. Doesn't look like it's working, Yetirin said, hand on Tomerin's shoulder and hands under his vest. And can't you adjust the taste of the recipe? Thur asked, more water to clean the taste off his tongue. If you know how to work with that code, which I can't, which I don't. It's not can't, it's don't. He doesn't know food coding. I haven't come up with a name yet. I've always just took what was printed without questioning it. It wasn't until the natural stuff you guys eat and drink I noticed there's something off with the taste of the printed equivalent. He grinned. And this is fun. He sipped the next one and raised an eyebrow. Almost pure alcohol burn and some sweetness. Not Scotch, but not bad. Grisnir reached for one of the glasses. Jeremy tried, but Thur stopped her. He drank it, she said, and he can drink something containing the hops and not die. No hops in these, I don't think. Not tasting it, at least. Didn't you check if they were compatible with your species? Jeremy grinned, taking another glass. How am I supposed to do that? He took a long sip and made a face. No one's trusting the information the Earthers provided. Remember? And that concludes chapter 24 of The Technician's Fight. If you are enjoying this, please leave a like. If you want to know when the next chapter will be up, subscribe and hit the bell. If you want to read this story, it is available on Ream Story. If you are looking to listen to these live, it's every Tuesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Time on Twitch and YouTube. Links are in the notes, and with that, I shall wish you a good day.